Good evening, NewSpace. I'm Sean Auriti, CEO of Food by Print, the maker of the Chefy, a robotic chef who makes gourmet meals for Earth and zero gravity. We're seeking $10 million for a 30% equity stake in our company. How did we come up with the Chefy? I'm passionate about robotics, automation, food, and space. Met my partners, James and Maurice, at Alpha One Labs, who told me about their idea for a food prep system similar to an idea that I already had. I thought this was a great opportunity to combine my experience, expertise, and passions to make something cool and solve a problem. We need good food here and in space. Grab-and-go culture has to go. Over 30% of the US is obese. We need fresh, wholesome food. We need help in the kitchen to make it faster and easier. We need more variety of recipes without needing a variety of skills. The time of the voice-commanded, zero-gravity robotic chef is here. It's 2015. We need to be able to say, "Chefy, make me a veggie curry and coconut rice." Our value proposition: the Chefy robotic chef cooks for you, prepares fresh meals from scratch, it suggests foods based on your biofeedback, it chops, mixes, and dispenses ingredients, automatically cleans dishes, shares recipes online, and we have a zero-gravity safe methods that we've been developing. Our biofeedback technology will sense what vitamins and minerals a person needs and offer recipes in those nutrients. And yes, we've included the kitchen sink. The underlying magic to our invention here is we use bio-input, which would be a cup or a sensor in your toilet to kind of complete the cycle. There'll be users submitting recipes to an internet marketplace. We'll have a touchscreen recipe database that you can choose from thousands of recipes. We're using a Raspberry Pi with CNC stepper motors to control a robotic arm that picks up a plate, cups, or dry goods, and then picks ingredients from the tube dispensers that we've developed. We have one of them here from our early prototype. This is a space-saving design that we've created that you can fill this up with peanut butter jelly, all types of recipes, and squeeze them together in an array. So for an example, we could put Nutella in here, have some crackers, dispense the crackers onto a plate, and the plate moves around instead of the nozzle moving around, giving us the ability to create an array of 50 to 100 ingredients, as well as spices. The Chefy will also be able to chop, slice, grate, turn, stir, fry, blend, and make dumplings. We'll have it pack and seal and freeze and be able to take those meals out and cook them again. Our zero-gravity baths will allow hot oil, hot water, or steam to be rotated to create a bubble inside where the food will go. Our business model, first we're partnering with chefs to build a recipe database. We're pitching to private space companies for the pro version, small shops and schools for the consumer version. Phase 2, we'll have a home version directly for consumers. We'll offer subscription chef packs from tested recipes. A chef pack is an assortment of ready-made cylinders containing all the ingredients needed for gourmet recipes and the robot's commands. Plug and eat, but don't play with your food. Just kidding. Play with your food, you know the astronauts do. Our go-to market plan, it's happening. We have a chef already on board, and we're looking for a couple more. New chefs love technology. We have licensing incentives for the chefs. They get paid when we use their recipe in a chef pack. The Chefy has already debuted at World Maker Faire and will be traveling around to other events and entering competitions. This is our zero to low-cost initial marketing strategy. As we grow, we will reach out to more space companies, chefs, and consumers around the world. In our competitive analysis, there is no other complete kitchen replacement. None of them are designed for space. Nice. Our team consists of myself, James, and Maurice. We met at Alpha One Labs. We all have complementing skills. James does law. I do engineering. Maurice is an inventor, bringing a lot of products to market. We are ready to launch to success. Our financial key metrics, after several rounds of prototypes, we expect to sell 300 units in the first year and grow steadily into a multi-million-dollar business. The food tech industry is currently a $50 billion industry, growing at a rate of 15% year over year. Our timeline, we are off to an exciting start. We are, we got our first investment in September. We built our first prototype. We exhibited it at Maker Faire. We got accepted to an accelerator recently. We also got some new desk space. We're collecting pre-sales. We have a chef that is most likely going to buy one. We're building our second MVP, and we'll have a food tasting event very soon. We're selling prototypes and going to become full-time on this. So get ready to command your robot. Chefy, make me a
Auriti. Banana smoothie.
Yeah, thank you.
You started with the assumption. By the way, I loved your pitch. This is fantastic. Like, everyone wants one of these, and I want it on my spaceship even more. But you started with, people need to be healthier. Obesity is a problem, but we're really close to 3D printing our first steak, like, for consumers. And I don't want to eat that, really.
No.
I don't want to eat most of the food that's made in America, really.
Right. Yeah.
So is there like any study or anything that you can point to that says that 3D printed food or 3D printed vitamins in a stack would be healthy?
Well, 3D printing is only one technology of our system. We're using a robotic hand to use, like, for hamburgers, meat patties will be dispensed from a dispenser. Okay. Steaks can be sliced into prepackaged slices and dispensed that way. We're not using any type of molecular changing of that. The extrude, we have different sizes of extruders. Our extruders are mainly for just depositing the materials, like more bulkier materials like dumpling filling or like dough. We'll be able to cook pizza.
It's like you said with the crackers. Like, you're not printing crackers.
It's not just
you're
a
like
tiny thing. Exactly. Yeah. And it's a combination of things.
Yeah. So you have the hot little area and the cold ingredients area.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that stored? I mean, you don't need a big refrigerator.
So we developed a outer ring on the tube that is liquid cooled. So that's one of our technologies. We're developing a newer technology that may just put the tubes into a refrigerator. So the tubes will be in a refrigerated compartment that you change.
Right, but if I have 100 ingredients of hot and 100 cold, and how long is that going to last if I'm going to make meals a day?
It'll last the cycle of a refrigerator. We want to replace the kitchen.
I don't have 100 ingredients in my refrigerator.
Aren't you also replacing the chef?
Yeah.
And asking them to participate?
Totally. I mean,
okay.
They'll be able to create new recipes. So replacing them at the kitchen, creating new jobs for them for creating these
you're
pans.
taking like the passion out of like the putting it into the food, and you're like turning them into a mechanic.
You're stuffing
well, we'll be able to program techniques into the system. If a chef has a signature technique, we could have a triple flip or something like that, maybe.
So you mentioned something about creating a bubble with different ingredients.
So as you know, in space, water just stays in a bubble. You put an Alka-Seltzer, things don't come off, they stay inside. So we'll have to simulate gravity and spin the water around, creating a separation between the steam and the water.
Okay, I need to wrap my head around that a little bit. How are you going to accomplish that kind of testing? If you
We're going to do extreme tests with gravity. So one of our tests that we'll be conducting is creating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich upside down. We're going to have a vacuum bed hold the bread, and then the nozzle will be upside down, printing the peanut butter onto the bread. Jelly might be a little more tricky. We might have to change the viscosity of it, but our tubes will be the ingredients will be able to stay together more.
So are there any plans for like doing zero gravity flights, you know, the parabolic flights out of?
We're preparing to send one to the ISS.
You're looking for $10 million for a third of the company. So how'd you get to the $30 million valuation?
Through our sales projections.
Have you looked at the logistics at all for supplying these things up to a remote location, the station or something else?
Well, I mean, I've been to NewSpace talks with Rockstar, and they will be able to do those types of things, and we'll just piggyback onto a company doing it already.
How much do one of these things cost?
Our pro version is $9,000, and our consumer version is $3,000.
You had that on the slide, sorry. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean on a previous slide, I just sorry. Yeah. Geez, so how many? If it has like hundreds of ingredients, that's great because I love choice. But you know, like how much? So it's $9,000 to buy, but then how much is it to maintain? You know, for like an average household of 3.
It would be like a washing machine. You may need a specialist to come by, which would be an hourly rate. And the parts we're using mostly off-the-shelf parts. I've been purposely avoiding 3D printed parts, so you can just buy something, put it on, and.
Oh, not like if it breaks down. I mean like refilling.
Oh, so it'll tell you when the tube is done. You just take it off and put a new one on. The tubes will come in a nice package, and they'll be very easy just to plug in.
So you go to the supermarket, you fill it up with ground beef.
Yeah, you can also fill it up with your own recipes too. So they're refrigerated. They're refrigerated tubes, so it acts like your refrigerator as well. So you can, one of our technologies also is that you can put a cucumber, some lettuce, different ingredients for a dumpling, and then it combines and chops them all into another tube, and that tube goes up again and dispenses dumpling filling.
Have you made anything else besides peanut butter and jelly yet? With your butter pet?
We are working on, I mean, there's pancakes, and we're working on dumpling. Is going to be our next use case.
That sounds hard. Does it fold it in things, or does it?
We have a couple things. One of them, I know someone that wants to open a dumpling shop, and she, we have some ideas for.
Super.
They're going to be sort of like space food.
Okay.
There's a question in the back.
How are you going to get to the ISS?
Well, we will go through a scheduled flight. First, we'll contact them, make sure that it's okay with them. We'll do as many initial tests that we can here to make sure that it's safe to go there. But we'll just contact a launch company that can take it there.
This would be great if you had a video of it working. It's just a little hard to conceive.
There's a video on our website.
Seems far out there.
There's a video on our website.
Can you make a spacesuit dumpling that doesn't have to have a dumpling because the suit will stay in the ball in space?
Yes, totally. That's a great idea. That should be our first space application. Awesome. Yes?
Sean, if you look at the targeting the healthcare industry with this, because I mean, there are definitely use
I can
cases
see.
for people that require special diets,
Yeah.
typically postoperative.
I think it could apply to all, we say commercial version could apply to all institutions, any type of company. That's a good idea as well. Yes.
You reach out to any food colleges like Culinary Institute of America, or anything like that, to collaborate with you on it?
That's our next plan. We want to give one to a school so they can start developing recipes.
Do you have like margin or buffer built in? I mean, if you're going to go through cases to get on ISS, you've got to be space qualified and all. There's zillions of safety requirements that can read Wicker everything.
Yeah, that's definitely a major challenge for us. It's not our first phase, so we know that's going to take some time and effort. But we will comply with all regulations to make sure that everything is safe and sound to go there.
Is it open source modular?
Our recipe database is open source. We're using open source technology. There are a couple proprietary things that will be in our patent. But we do support the open source community, and we'll make it as open source as we can. Yes?
So on your diagram, you showed Raspberry Pi servo motors. Is this mostly just an integration of existing tech, or are there any known engineering challenges that you invent something for?
80% of it is existing tech. Most of it is existing tech, just for the few things that we've invented that are kind of new things, like the low-profile extruder, the zero-gravity spinner, and a couple of other things, the water cooling, the cooling of the tubes.